Welcome back to the MrShowTym podcast, and this is the Manosphere Audit Meeting episode 4. In this video, I'm going to be talking specifically to the original founders of the Manosphere, and that would be Donovan Sharp, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Rollo Tomasi, and Mumia Obsidian Ali. Now, I would mention the Angry Man, but he seemed to have checked out of the Manosphere completely at least by his own words. Some of these content creators have, flat out denounced the Manosphere almost completely, which is very sad. But I'll get to that particular point in a jiffy. But, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, we're going to talk about what everyone's thinking. Let's talk about what everyone is thinking. The Manosphere is pretty much over. The Manosphere is done. Us going out there to the Matrix and debating these feminists, right? It's because of Andrew Tate's still being arrested, and they're gonna try and pin whatever they can on him to, make the Manosphere look bad, at least to the average NPC. At least the average normie who doesn't know any better, who watches the mainstream media and they just take everything at face value. In that particular aspect, Manosphere is pretty much over. And I've watched Rollo Tomasi's 5-hour breakdown of that particular topic. Ladies and gentlemen, the NWO has us in a checkmate position. We're pretty much in a checkmate position. Regardless whether or not Andrew Tate is found guilty or innocent, or they release him, they've done monumental damage to the Redpill Manosphere. Because Andrew Tate was, in the spotlight on behalf of the Redpill Manosphere, debating feminists, telling them, putting them in their place. No, men and women are not equal. No, men are genetically and biologically stronger than women. Okay, all that stuff here. We all know the whole shebang. Now they want to take that and paint him in a negative light. Like, oh look, do you see, ladies and gentlemen? This is what these Redpill Manosphere guys are all about. Misogyny, human trafficking, trafficking women, and the MGTOW. Hey, where the MGTOW guys at? Silent. I haven't heard the MGTOW, pound their chest as much as they used to. The MGTOW guys are silent. PUA guys, they keep putting articles out there of unfortunate sex assaulters. Guys, they pretty much have us in a checkmate position. We don't have massive reach like they do. The Ops, the NWO, or as I like to call them, the Agent Smiths of the Matrix. They have mainstream media reach. And Rollo Tomasi said that, hey, listen, maybe it's not... The Manosphere might go mainstream, but it won't be in a way that we wanted to go mainstream. Rollo Tomasi did a breakdown of that, and here we are. The Redpill Manosphere has gone mainstream, just not in the way that we wanted it. This is not what we wanted. So with that being said, is the Redpill Manosphere over? And MrShowTym says, not if we can help it. We don't stop. We continue the mission. But first, MrShowTym would like to address what we can control before looking at the things that we can't control yet. We need to fix what's going on in the Manosphere right now. Let's look internally first before we look at the external macro environment. Ladies and gentlemen, it breaks my heart that certain content creators, such as some of the gentlemen I've mentioned, some of these original founders, they've had an unfortunate falling out over the years. And it's more predominantly with the Black Manosphere content creators. Which brings me to another point. At this point in time, I don't think there should be different sectors of the manosphere. There shouldn't be a Black manosphere, there shouldn't be a white manosphere. Now, I understand that the reason for there being a Black manosphere in the first place is because guys like O'Shea Duke Jackson and some of the other Black manosphere content creators, they branched out because they said, they believe that they saw that some of the guys in the white manosphere didn't understand the plights of what Black men are going through, and at the time they didn't care, they didn't show concern. So what the Black manosphere guys did were like, okay, we're gonna branch out and express the unique issues that Black men are dealing with specifically. Which in this day and age, that notion is obsolete. It's been nullified. Because all men, whatever, from every creed or color, are going pretty much relatively through the same things with regards to feminism and the attacks and the war on masculinity. So with that being said, I don't think the Black manosphere and the white manosphere should reunite once again. No more white manosphere, no more Black manosphere. Now, unfortunately, Donovan Trump had a fallout with O'Shea Duke Jackson because Donovan Trump wanted to, branch out and network with some of the guys in the white manosphere, and O'Shea Duke Jackson said no, keep it within the Black manosphere, and that's where that relationship turned sour, right? But I'm gonna ask, for the sake of the manosphere, for the sake of men everywhere, some of you gentlemen, can you please? I know it's easier said than done. I am all the way here in South Africa. I wasn't there. You guys are thinking, MrShowTym, shut your mouth. You have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know the phone calls and text messages you guys were sending back and forth. Quite frankly, I don't need to. But what I do know is the manosphere is stronger together than it is apart. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna ask. It's gonna take the manosphere to regather and regroup, because in the title I mentioned I have a solution. A solution is gonna come out as soon as we all get on code, and that would take burying the hatchet. O'Shea Duke Jackson, are you willing to do panels again with Donovan Trump? Rollo Tomasi, are you willing? Angry Man, are you willing to do panels with Rollo Tomasi? And Rollo Tomasi, are you willing to do the same thing for Angry Man? Are you guys willing to come back together and rejoin? And it's gonna take you guys, because you guys are the original founders of the manosphere. This is why I mentioned your channels specifically. It's going to take us to regroup and regather. The solution will come out of soon after. Right? Now, here's my solution to this what's going on with the whole Andrew Tate thingy. We can't move exactly how we used to. Here's MrShowTym's solution, okay? Are you watching? Are you listening? Right? Clean out your earwax, gentlemen. First of all, manosphere. Godfathers of the manosphere. You're going to have to, right, talk to your audience and tell them to stop simping. Because now the manosphere is degrading with each passing day. Because now there is a female content creator that has rose up the ladder. a female content creator is now supposedly the face of the manosphere. How the hell does that work? Shout out to Steve the Dean Williams. He did a whole breakdown of that particular aspect. The men in our sphere have become simps even more. Because now, in their minds, they're mesmerized by a female bashing other women. They're mesmerized of the idea of a woman bashing other women and telling men how to be men. And as soon as she goes out there to Adam Sosnick's podcast to do a debate with Hafiz, she takes an L. Dear audiences, dear Manosphere audiences, is this what you're looking up to? Let's be honest. You're not mesmerized by her, by just pretty things because, she's articulate. No. She regurgitated a lot of the talking points that a lot of the men have came up with, and now she's just regurgitating them and just grifting off of that. And then now you guys are giving her support because she's, female and she's, my goodness. God forbid her, she has already been doing this. Bring on attractive females into a podcast with, big perky titties and tits and ass and pretty faces. Gentlemen, if this is our audience in the manosphere, then we have deeper issues than we thought. Not just with Andrew Tate being arrested and the manosphere's reputation being jeopardized. We have way deeper issues than we thought with our audience being simps. Because listen, a lot of what Pretty Things is saying has Rollo Tomas has been saying, Donovan Sharp, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Steve the Dean Williams, Mumia Obsidian Ali, Angry Man, LAR Movement. A lot of these points have been being regurgitated in the space ever since. And now that a woman comes out of nowhere and within 4 months she reaches 1 million subs, and now you guys are putting her up there to go battle the Agent Smiths, and then she takes an L against one Hafiz. My goodness. Another thing that we need to do in the manosphere, ladies and gentlemen, we have ringers in our sphere that goes by the name of Matt Walsh, who went over to Dr. Phil's show and he debated a T1000, right? Some of the guys in this sphere, they call them Transformers. Rollo Tomasi calls him the bearded lady, right? Angry Man calls him the forgot what he calls him. Some of the guys, they call them the Skittles. MrShowTym calls them the T1000 because they can morph and change into anything, right? Coach Greg Adam calls them Transformers, right? But I call them T1000s. So Matt Walsh went over to the Dr. Phil show and debated a T1000 and won. But guess what? He won the battle, but he didn't win the war. What do I mean by that? If you go over to, if the Manosphere has been playing away games for the longest time, and the Agent Smiths have been playing home games, we have been going over to their shows, their panels, and we debate them and we beat them with logic and reason, right? And then soon after they leave, a couple of weeks drag by, and then they cut and clip the episodes to make it look as if we lost. Do you get what I'm saying? We've been playing away games, they've been playing home games. Now, if you're wondering what a ringer is, I did a video on that explaining, the different types of Manosphere content creators. There's 3 elements: being a host, being a disseminator of information, and being a ringer. We used to have, we lost a very crucial ringer that goes by the name of St. Kevin Samuels. R.I.P. Ringers are content creators that know how to, go inside the matrix in the field, and they debate the Agent Smiths, and they win convincingly. What's the point of winning the battle if you're going to lose the war? Losing the war is, you coming onto their podcast and you debating them and you win and whatever. And they know they lost the battle because they cut and clip and edit. They're not playing fair. And then they put the episodes out there. Well, in this time, we have had an spread of toxic masculinity. And then Dr. Phil plays the episode, cuts and edits it in such a way that makes us look bad. Right? They make it seem as if you lost the battle. Now, Rollo Tomasi himself talked about how he went over to the Dr. Phil show back in November, and they prolonged it on purpose now that Andrew Tate was arrested, and they're about to release it soon, right now, to frame it a certain way that, look at these Redpill Manosphere content creators, what they're about. And they have a fellow brother in arms that goes by the name of Andrew Tate. Oh, look, he's been accused of, sex human trafficking. That's us losing the war. So MrShowTym's solution is, instead of playing away games, we play home games. Right? We pay whatever money that it takes, pull whatever strings necessary to bring these Agent Smiths over to our panels. That way, they can't cut and clip and edit the clips, the episodes, the videos, the live streams, whatever. Because it's ours. We can play the original clip. Bring them over to our turf, to our panels, right? And debate and beat them here. Home ground advantage. So that without cutting and clipping and editing. And they're afraid to do that. And that's going to be the hardest job. Bring Dr. Phil over to Rollo Tomasi, or over to Rollo Tomasi's house or his studio, and record the live stream there. And that's going to be the hardest part, because they're not going to do that because they know they're going to take an L. But it's our detriment, us going over to their studios, playing away games. No more playing away games. We play home games. We make them play away games. We bring them over to us. Pay whatever money is possible. Bring them over to Adam Sosnick's channel. Right? Now, Adam Sosnick might be like, hey, MrShowTym, I don't have my... Adam, you're a millionaire, okay? Stop. You have the means and the resources to do it, okay? Bring them over to Fresh and Fit. Bring them over to Valuetainment. Some of the guys in this sphere have verified blue check marks. They have the mainstream reach. So yeah, that's MrShowTym's solution. And you notice in the description, I've tagged each and every single content creator that I'm either subscribed to or is, a fellow brother in the Redpill space. Some of the guys are PUAs, but I just want to bring all the guys together and just have this notion, just to have, for us to just regroup and regather. No female leaders, no female faces of the manosphere. That's a fallacy. Okay? It defeats the whole purpose of the manosphere in the first place. This is a space for men to sustain masculinity and to, teach men how to be better men, or at least maintain the masculinity. How are you going to do that if you're going to put a female as our icon, as our poster child? That's stupid. No female faces of the manosphere. No female poster childs. Okay, just purely things. Nothing personal. This is not jealousy. This is not hate. This is not envy. No, this is not good for the manosphere. Subscribing to just purely things just because she's female. and then giving her all the credit, and then saying that, oh, she is very profound, but you're really listening to her because you wanna see some tits and ass. Simping. That's a problem we have with our current audience. Our audience is simping. So there you go. No female poster childens of the manosphere. We can have females here and there just to give a female perspective here, but keep it at a minimalistic level. No female poster childens. Second, no more playing away games. We play home games now. We bring the Agent Smiths, the ups, over to our home ground and beat them here, so that they can hardly do any shenanigans with the videos and clips. They can hardly do any cuts and edits. Right? So this has been the Redpill Manosphere Audit Meeting, episode 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we keep pushing forward. We keep plowing ahead. This doesn't have to be the end of the manosphere. It seems dark and grim right now, but we keep doing what we're doing with minor adjustments. But first order of business, Black Manosphere and White Manosphere come together. Some of the guys that have gripe with each other, please bury the hatchet. I know it's easier said than done, but it's a must at this point. Bury the hatchet. Much broader solutions will come from that, more than that I've mentioned. Thank you so much for making it this far. Please like, subscribe, make this video blow up amongst our Red Pill brethren, amongst our Red Pill simping audience who are over there subscribing to Just Pretty Things. This is a man space. Let's keep it that way. Thank you so much for listening, and let's just wait and see what happens with Andrew Tate. But for now,